Hello, good morning, students. Today we are going to start chapter number 10 of class 11 chemistry, and it is S block elements. Students, generally group first and group second of the periodic table, they are S block elements. Okay, why they are called S block elements? Because whenever we write down the configuration of these elements, then the last electrons enters in the S subshell. So that's why they are called S block elements. Students, I have written the group first and group second elements here. So group first element includes lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. You can also remember them like this. ली ना की रब से फरियाद. This is beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium and radium. So you can remember them like this. Beta mange kanya sundar bap razi. So like that, car, scooter, bap razi. So these are certain tricks by which you can learn them. Students, the group first elements are also called the alkali metals. फर्स्ट ग्रुप के एलिमेंट्स को हम एल्कली मेटल्स भी कहते हैं. ओके, दीज आर ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एल्कली metals. And the elements in group number second, that is S block group number second, they are called alkaline earth metals. So why they are called alkali metals and why they are called alkaline earth metals? So first thing is that they are called alkali metals. First group elements are also called alkali metals because the main thing is that their hydroxides, generally their hydroxides are soluble in water. Means the hydroxide, they form such type of hydroxides which on reaction with water form means alkaline solution only. Okay, so that's why these are called alkaline earth metals, because they form hydroxides, and these hydroxides on reaction with water gives alkaline solution. So that's why they are called alkali metals. So because I'm just writing the reason, because their hydroxides are alkaline in nature. So that's why they are called alkali metals. Now the second group elements, they are called alkaline earth metals. Why they are called alkaline earth metals? So here is a reason. Students, the group second elements, they are called alkaline earth metals because first reason is that their oxides, that is there we can write their metal oxides, they are generally found in earth crust. So their oxides are found in earth crust, as well as one more thing is there, that their oxides as well as their hydroxides both are alkaline in nature. One thing is that they are found in their metal oxides are found in earth crust. They are not found in generally free state, because the alkali metals, these group elements are very reactive, so they are found in combined state. So they found as a metal oxide in earth crust, as well as their metal oxides as well as their hydroxides both are alkaline in nature. So if both are having alkaline nature, then that is the reason they are called alkaline earth metals. Students, the group first elements, let's see them. The lithium is having atomic number, I'm just writing the atomic number Z here and here. So alkaline metals, their atomic number, the lithium is having atomic number 3, sodium is having 11, potassium 19, then rubidium 37, cesium it is 55, francium 87. Beryllium is having atomic number 4, magnesium atomic number 12, calcium 20, strontium 38, barium 56, and radium 88. So these are the atomic numbers. Students, now the next thing is that these all are called S block elements. Their oxides are basic in nature. Like if we consider for the beryllium oxide, they forms the oxide. They are generally found in the form of their oxide like beryllium oxide, magnesium oxide, calcium oxide, strontium oxide, barium oxide, radium oxide. But all their oxides are alkaline in nature. Francium as well as radium both are the radioactive elements. These are radioactive elements. These are, the radium is also radioactive element. Okay, so these are the two which are radioactive elements. Now students, what is there? If we write down the general electronic configuration for the group 1 element and the group 2 element. So generally their general electronic configuration is noble gas NS1 and their general electronic configuration is noble gas NS2. So in this way we will see that the outermost electron, valence shell electron, move to the s orbital. So let's try to write down their electronic configuration. The electronic configuration of lithium is helium 2s1, sodium neon 3s1, potassium argon 4s1, rubidium krypton 5s1, xenon 6s1, radon 7s1. So we can see that all the electrons are moving in the s orbital, that is valence shell contains s subshell in which electrons are there. So in s orbital only the electrons are moving, that's why they are called s block elements. And similarly in case of the alkaline earth metals also, their outer electronic configuration is helium 2s2, then neon 3s2, argon 4s2, krypton 5s2, xenon 6s2, and radon 7s2. So in both the groups the outermost valence shell electrons move in the s orbital or s subshell. So that's why they are called s block elements. Now students, the one thing is there, the alkali metals are having single electron in their valence shell and the alkaline earth metals are having 2 electrons in their outermost valence shell. We can see that they are having 2 electrons in valence shell. I am going to write over here that they are having single electron in valence shell and they are having 2 electrons in their valence shell. Okay. Students, generally sodium and potassium, they are the two elements which are found, which are most abundant among the S block elements in group 1 as well as group 2. And in group 2, if we discuss for only group 2, then calcium and magnesium are most abundant. Okay. Francium and radium both are radioactive elements and found very rarely. Now students, we have discussed about the electronic configuration of the, we will discuss about the electronic configuration as well as the physical properties and different type of properties of the S block elements. So here we are going to discuss about the electronic configuration of group 1 element. The lithium is having electronic configuration 1s2 2s1. We can also write its configuration like this: helium 2s1. Sodium is having electronic configuration 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s1, or we can write it like this: neon 3s1, because this much configuration represents the neon noble gas. Next, electronic configuration of potassium is 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2 3p6 4s1, or we can write it like this: argon 4s1. Okay, because up to 3p6 it represents the configuration of noble gas. Now rubidium 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2 3p6 4s2 3d 10 4p6 5s1, or we can write it like this: means krypton 5s1. So it will be the configuration of the rubidium. Now about the cesium. The configuration of cesium, we can write it like this: 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2 3p6 4s2 3d 10 4p6, then means how much? 4s2 3 4p6 4d 10 5s2 5p6 6s1, or we can write this configuration like this, or it will be xenon 6s1. Okay, in short we can write it like this. For francium, similarly again we will write it like this, and the overall electronic configuration will be radon 7s1. In simple way you can remember it. So students, these are the electronic configurations of the S block elements. The S block elements are having single electrons in their outermost valence shell, and due to this, these elements can easily lose their electrons to form the monovalent and cations, and that's why they are having the highly electropositive nature. Due to the presence of single electrons in their valence shell, these elements are never found in free state in nature and always found in combined state. That means they react with the other different type of elements and then form different type of compounds. So they are found in combined state in nature because due to the presence of single electron, they are highly reactive. Now the next is ionization enthalpy of the S block element, that is group 1 elements. For group 1 elements we will discuss the ionization and energy ionization enthalpy. So students, generally what happen that we are having the S block element lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. We know that group 1 elements are having the largest size in the periodic table, okay, because on moving from left to right the size decreases, and from top to bottom the size again also increases. So group 1 element are having the large size, and due to their large size their electron is very far away from the nucleus, and that's why it can be easily removed by giving some energy. So that's why by giving the energy, these elements can easily be converted into their ions. So Li plus, sodium plus, potassium plus, rubidium plus, cesium plus. I am not making the ion of this because it is highly radioactive. So we can make, but we will not consider it. Okay, we will not consider because it is the francium, highly radioactive element. So what happened that when we move from top to bottom, then what happened? The ionization enthalpy or value of ionization enthalpy decreases. Why? Because the atomic size increases. So ionization enthalpy is inversely proportional to atomic size, and we know it. Okay, as well as on increasing the size, the effective nuclear charge also decreases. So that's why we know ionization energy is also directly proportional to the effective nuclear charge. That is the reason these elements are having the lowest ionization enthalpy in the whole period. So we know that if we move from left to top to bottom, then due to increase in atomic size, ionization enthalpy decreases, as well as effective nuclear charge also decreases. So we can say they are having the lowest ionization enthalpy in periodic table. And the order of their ionization enthalpy will be lithium is having maximum, then sodium, then potassium, then rubidium, and then cesium. So this will be the order of their highest ionization enthalpy, or decreasing order of ionization enthalpy. One more thing is there, since they are having the largest size, so they can easily give the electron. That's why these elements are highly electropositive in nature. They have the highest electropositive nature in